All right, another week, another episode of X-Men 97. My goodness, time's flying because we're already in there. We're getting in there, and what kind of big surprises. Finally, we have the main villain. Now, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea who this character is, okay? Gaston, or no, Bastion. Bastion. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And look, I have no idea. Again, he looks sinister, and spoiler alert, Magneto is still alive. He's alive. And I was really, throughout the episode, I was like, they're focusing too much on Gambit. Where's Magneto? Like, what happened? He was there in that fight. Like, what is going on? Nobody's talking about him. And I guess it was smart. Like, they were griefing him, but they didn't show it. And then all of a sudden they pull that up. It's like, whoa, somebody actually is like grabbing like Magneto and putting him in this place, and he's trapped and he's out of, like, literally not in control. The superior thing that he usually has, he's not. He's like a caged person. And you're like, who can do that? And then they finally reveal him. But it's like, just because it's like you don't know that much about him. I've never heard this character before. So I'm like, I don't know. And then I read on it and I'm like, this is interesting. And that I'm not going to spoil. Because I read about him and I'm like, this can go like absolutely dark, which it feels like the series is going towards. One thing I was missing, I'm like, they should have brought Professor X back by now, because obviously we had that big reveal, and he's on his way back. Maybe could have been back by the time they were doing the whole Gambit thing. Gambit finally was, rest in peace. That makes me sad. Okay, like, he's one of the OG characters, and it's a legacy character that they brought back. I get it. Like, this season is like a continuation from where X-Men left off, but it was like, still like Gambit of all the characters, it's like, he was like that, quick mouth person, like quick witted and all that, alongside Wolverine with his like lines and all. So I'm like, okay, now he's gone and they're not focusing on Wolverine at all. It's like they know. You can feel like they know, like in the movies, he's always the focus. We're not gonna focus on him. We're gonna like focus on all these other characters, and we're only gonna give him a few lines. And I'm like, really? Come on, like, Wolverine can have a bit more. Come on. But yeah, that is one like negative that I always feel like they're really not focusing on Wolverine at all. I'm like, give him something, not just there in the background most of the time. But I do feel like the series is still on the right path. Again, one character that really kind of shook me, and I hope somehow they bring him back. But still, Nathan makes another appearance. That was, again, surprising, but again, also I'm like, the timing is always weird. Like, he always shows up and then he leaves. He showed up in the last episode at one point, and and then he shows up here and he warns them and he kind of leaves, and it's like, what is going on? Hopefully, somehow they kind of bring it all together. Why he's like just coming in and leaving all of a sudden, and then coming in and leaving all of a sudden, like never stays there with them most of the time. So that is like, sometimes I do feel like these episodes should be longer, like an hour long episode, so that you have like longer dialogue. Sometimes you really feel like this happened and then next thing happens and the next thing happens and the next thing happens. It's like they really have so much story that they just gotta go through. So it's like they make these edits to kind of cram everything together. And so just to get the story along, I do feel like somewhere there's like a director's cut, which, like, with each episode being a lot more than what we see on Disney Plus. Hopefully, at some point they release it like a director's cut uncut. I'm gonna buy that. But overall, with the surprises and like the Sentinels and what's coming in the future, how grim it is, what the surprise was at the end with Bastion and all of that, you you feel like, yeah, there's some really dark times coming up, and you can see like now the visions of Jean Grey from the early episodes of what really is going back to happen. Now it's like the start of all of that, and somebody like grabbing Magneto, that's no joke. Okay, how that happened, I don't get it, but it happened, and hopefully they touch on that more. So overall, still around that 9 to 10 range, if you want to put a number on it. Still strong, still amazing. Let's see how this goes. That's kind of my take so far. What did you all think about this episode? Leave a comment below. Let me know. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all soon. Ta-da, A-Cap.